Hey guys, so one of the things that I'm working on over here is that I'm gonna be using a package called OpenPyXL. XL. That is the Python package that basically connects the Python code to Excel data set, so you can actually work with the Excel file and then get all the information from Excel, do all the manipulation or extraction or transformation, and then put it back in Excel. One of the things that a lot of the data analysts or probably data scientists might be doing is cleaning process. Sometimes you have a text data in Excel that you want to clean it up or you want to extract some information, so it becomes difficult to do that if you want to do it within Excel, because there are not too many functionalities that you can use. Okay, so OpenPyXL provides you that. So I'm going to be using one of the Excel file that I can show you over here that I'm working with is it has this placement with the campaign name, placement with the campaign name on column 1, and then column 2 you have the placement. So in the placement you can see that there are so much of information. They're separated out by dash. Sometimes they're not in a correct format, so even if you use a delimiter, you may not be getting exactly the information on the same cell that you want to put into, because it can be messy and it can take a lot of time in order to clean this data. But if you have, let's say if you have a mapping, let's say I've created a mapping for campaign type, I've created a mapping for creative size, I've creating a mapping for site partner. So in terms of like the creative size, let's say if you are trying to find a creative size of 160 by 600 and you want to put the ad size as one of the information within that particular campaign, then you can use this mapping in order to get that information. So the way that I do is I basically go to the code. So in this case, I'm going to be running this OpenPyXL. So what it's going to do, it's going to read the file, that example file that I just showed you. It's going to read all of those files and provide me all these different workbooks. Okay, so it basically again read all of them. You can access each of these worksheets by name and then place them into different values. So you can see over here, like campaign type, creative size, placement, site partner. So it's been all created. I use pandas file to read them and create them into pandas data frame. Okay, so one of the things that I do is right now I'm just doing it only for the creative size, but you can do it for a campaign type site partner. Okay, so I'm going to read this and put it in a pandas data frame. So you can see that over here, if I look at the placement data frame, it has created the values for that column A and B, where you can see that the column name is not read properly because the first row itself is the name of the column. That we can fix it, but you can see that it basically read all of the values. So if you look at it from the standpoint of how many, it's around 211 placement or campaign values that it has read. Okay, same thing goes with the creative size too. So it has read the mapping file of the creative size from column A and column B. Okay, that's put in over here. So now what we have to do is we have to do some manipulation and changes in order to get them into the format that we want to do this cleaning process. So the one thing that we want to do is just remove the first row basically, and then create that as the column name. So in order to do that, you use something called iloc 0, which sets the first row as column headers, and remove that value, the first row value. Okay, so I'm just going to do that for placement. I'm going to do that for creative size. Again, this is just an example. You can do this for multiple different types of files in a loop, but I'm just showing it for the illustration purposes. So you can see that campaign, you have the placement, you have the names over here. Same thing goes with the creative size. Now you have the creative size and the name search, okay, with all the values here. So once you have that, right, so now it is in a clean format. So what we're going to do is for the creative size, because that's a mapping file, we're going to create the name search, which is this the value that you're searching in the placement, that can be created as an index. Okay, index of that data frame. So in order to do that, you use set index. So once you create that as a set index, you can see that the index value for that particular data frame has changed now with the name search. Okay, so that's the value that the program is going to be looking for in the placement in order to match it back to the creative size that we have. So it's going to be like a one-on-one match, but you have these indexes placed over here. Okay, so once you have that, what we're going to do is we're going to create a dictionary. Okay, that dictionary is just again going to be something like a matching of that index with the creative size. So in order to do that, we create this data frame into dictionary, okay, which using to dict, and then if you see over here, this has created df creative dictionary. So when you look at it over here, creative dictionary, this is the value that it has put in, right? So it's a one-on-one mapping of the value versus the key value pair, basically. So creative size, you can see over here, like it has created all of them. So, but you don't want to, like, you just want to get the list of only those creative sizes. So in order to do that, you just have to write df creative dict creative size. So what it does is it only provides you the key value pair information, okay, the list of only key value pair information. That is what you're looking for as a mapping file. Now what you're going to use this particular dictionary is as in your analysis is using a mapping of this particular list. What you're going to do is you're going to do the again the key value search, okay, in the placement, and then add that information as a creative size. Okay, so in order to do that, you create a function called the map values. Okay, it basically creates the presence of that keyword. It tries to evaluate that keyword, okay, using obviously the for loop, but it basically again maps the item, okay, and then tries to find out the keyword. If that keyword is present, then it returns back the matching pair. Okay, so once you have done that, you can see that right now the df placement has campaign placement. Okay, this placement has a long name, right? We saw that this placement basically has a long name here. They are not in the format that you always want, but you have a lot of information right in this data set. So what you're going to do is we're going to run this file with this particular a line of code, which is basically df placement apply lambda x map values. So map value is the function that we have just created, and then what you're gonna do is it's gonna look for that df creative dictionary, the series, okay, the series that has the key value pair information. So once it has that, it creates a new column called the add size, okay, and then it gives you the information. So once you run this, you can see that the df placement now would have a new column, okay, with all the creative sizes added to it. Okay, it searched for that particular value in your placement, and now it has added it. So you don't have to again filter out and do this thing in Excel. Now you can actually do that over here. I'm just using a head to just get the value over here. So once you have that, obviously you can now output that file into an Excel and then start working from there. So this is kind of like a useful way of doing a cleaning process. This is just one way of like looking at information, the key value information in your column, and then providing a new column with the with the mapping. Okay, so that's what I wanted to cover in this video. Hopefully this would be useful for you to use the package called the OpenPyXL in your day-to-day basis. I found it very useful because I work with Excel a lot, so hopefully this would be very useful for you as well. Thank you.